Hi, hello, namaste. A very warm welcome to bio classes. So, in the last class, we completed free fertilization events. So, regarding the free fertilization, briefly we discussed the gametogenesis process, how the gametes are transferred, and sexuality concept. We discussed briefly, right? Total, we are having three stages in the reproduction: free fertilization, fertilization, post fertilization. So today in this class, let's focus on remaining two stages, fertilization and post fertilization. So considering that one, let me consider the next one, fertilization. So ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಿಂದ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಈಗ ಇದು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಈ ಬಿಟ್ಸನ್ನು. ಸೊ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಕೀ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರನೂ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ಶಾಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ನನಗೊಂದ್ಸಾರಿ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Okay, coming to this one, fertilization. Fertilization we'll also call it as syngamy. So another term is syngamy. So in the fertilization, what actually we are observing? So that is fusion. Fusion of gametes. So two gametes, one is male gamete and another one is female gamete. Both the gametes are going to fuse together to form what? Yes, to form the zygote. And here the gametes are haploid and the formed zygote is diploid. So this is the common thing already we know, fertilization. But where actually the fertilization is occurring, the location, depending on the fusion of gametes location, we are having two types of fertilizations. The first fertilization is, okay, let me consider the earlier one, first one, external fertilization, and the second one is internal fertilization. So two are there here, external and internal. So already we know external fertilization means the fusion of two gametes occurs outside the body, usually outside the mother body. So that is the external. Internal means fusion occurs in the mother body usually. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡೋದಂತ. And here external fertilization, if we consider this external fertilization, here it is usually observed in case of the lower organisms. Say for example, if you want to see the examples, in case of fishes, in case of amphibians, fishes, amphibians, most of the invertebrates, aquatic invertebrates, we observe the sponges, Coelenterata, Echinodermata, molluscans, most of the aquatic invertebrates if you observe, so those are exhibiting external fertilization. And in case of the plants, if you consider, so in case of the plants, algae and fungi. So usually algae and fungi are lower, right? Algae means not all the algae. Say for example, oogamous algae if you consider, isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous, the three kinds of algae depending on the reproduction styles. In case of oogamous algae, internal fertilization occurs. In case of isogamous, anisogamous condition, their external fertilization occurs in algae. And next in the fungi, few of the fungi, we can see the external fertilization. And if we consider internal fertilization, fusion occurs inside the mother body. So for this one, if you want to consider the example, bryophyte to angiosperms. right? From bryophytes to angiosperms, internal fertilization. Why? Because if we consider in case of the bryophyte sex organs, which are those sex organs? Yes, antheridiopore, archegoniospore. Archegoniospore, that is having the archegonium. Archegonium receiving the sperm entering into the archegonium. In the archegonium there is egg already. That egg combines to sperm. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಗೆಮೆಟ್ ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಗೆಮೆಟ್ ಕಡೆ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲಿ, and that fertilization is not external, that is the internal fertilization, right? But one difference is there here. For external fertilization, we need a medium. Along medium ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ compulsory. So what is that medium? So usually that medium is water. Last class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ water. Water is a helpful medium for transferring of the gametes. So in water ಇದ್ದ ಮಾತ್ರ external fertilization ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲಿ. How actually it is? Male gamete released from one side, female gamete released from another side into the water, and both are fusing in the water itself. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. There is no physical contact between the two parents. Just they are releasing the gametes into the water. But in case of the plants, if we consider, here also water is required. Bryophytes water idre matra ಬೆಳಿತವೆ. Why that water is compulsory? Because of reproduction. And in case of the bryophytes, if we consider, there also water is required. But one difference is there. What does that difference means? Water is required for transferring of male gamete, not the female gamete. Why? Because female gamete is inside the archegonium. It is not coming outside. So that is in case of the bryophyte oogonium condition. Oogamous condition. Bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm. In all the cases, fertilization is internal, right? In case of the animals, if you consider, so most of the animals, terrestrial animals, let me consider few of the examples. Reptiles, birds, mammals. So these are the few of the examples for the organism showing the internal fertilization, right? And here one more thing. In case of the external fertilization, if you consider, external fertilization. In case of external fertilization, so few things we can observe. There should be synchrony of gametes production. So this is very important here. There should be synchrony in the gamete production. So what is that synchrony? Synchrony means there should be at a time two processes occurring at a time. Male gamete, female gamete should be produced at a time. They should be synchrony. So for example, if we consider the bony fishes which are present in the river, so ನದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ fishes ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Male bony fish producing gamete into the water, female bony fish producing eggs into the water at the same time. So that we will call it as synchrony. ಯಾಕೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಆ synchrony? Suppose male gamete ರೆಡಿ ಆಯ್ತು, female gamete water ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ male gametes waste ಅದು. So to avoid that, there should be synchrony for external fertilization. And second thing, both gametes quantity, it is usually more. Male gametes as well as female gametes quantity is usually more. But if we consider in internal fertilization case, in internal fertilization usually male gametes are more, female gametes are less, eggs are less. Say for example, human beings fertilization is internal, just one egg produced for 1 month, millions together sperms are coming. So in case of external fertilization, male gametes, female gametes, both production quantity is more. Why? Because the chances of fertilization are less. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದು chances of fertilization. Okay. And the next thing, the formed zygote is vulnerable. this is the next thing. The zygote, even though fusion occurs, the zygote formed, but that zygote is vulnerable to the predators. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜೈಗೋಟ್ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಹಾಳಾಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಡೇಟರ್ ಬಂದು ಆ ಜೈಗೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಿಂದು ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು, ನೀರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜೈಗೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಜೈಗೋಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್, ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಮದರ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್, ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದು. So that is in case of the external fertilization. If you want to observe in case of the internal fertilization, in case of the internal fertilization, usually male gametes are more than female gametes. Just I mentioned, male gametes are more than the female gametes. And here development is internal. In this case, development is internal. After the formation of zygote, that zygote develops into embryo. We will call that process as embryogenesis. And that zygote development is here external and here internal. Development is internal. Because of that reason, here the embryo is more safe, here embryo is less safe. Ali safe ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲಿ, right? And here after this fertilization, okay, the internal fertilization occurs or whatever the external fertilization occurs, whatever it is. So fertilization over. And after the fertilization, after the formation of zygote, the zygote undergoes further development, and those stages we will refer them as external fertilization, post fertilization. Post fertilization. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮದರ್ ಬಾಡಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಒಂದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಹೆಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಓಕೆ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ after the fertilization, the events after the fertilization. So one thing, as already we know, zygote form, and that zygote develops into embryo. So that one we will refer it as embryogenesis. Development of zygote into embryogenesis. So okay, before going to that, let me consider this zygote. So here, this zygote, in all the cases the zygote is always diploid. Zygote is not haploid. Zygote is compulsory diploid. This diploid zygote, in case of few algae and fungi, if you consider few algae and fungi, the formed zygote, say for example, let me consider this is the zygote. Here zygote ready ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, diploid zygote. ಹೇಗೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಯ್ತು? By the fusion of two gametes. This zygote, it has to develop into what? Yes, it has to develop into embryo. But ಒಂದ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಗೆ ಫಂಗೈದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಜೈಗೋಟ್ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Why? Because at that time there may be unfavorable condition. If the conditions are unfavorable, the zygote remained as it is and it will take rest. It is under the dormant stage. At the time, surrounding to zygote, thick wall is formed. A zygote suttu thick wall formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ in order to desiccation of the zygote. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ thick wall formation ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲಿ, right? When favorable condition will arise, the wall is going to break, and this zygote, it is again producing spores. ಆ ಜೈಗೋಟ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ರೆಡಿ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, and those spores we will call them as zygospores. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? zygospores. ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಜೈಗೋಟ್ ಲಿಂದ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ? ಎಸ್, ಮಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಬೈ ದ ಮಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಕರ್ಸ್. Except these conditions, in almost all cases, in other cases, the zygote, I'll write simple, zygote, it directly develops into embryo. Zygote idre direct agi embryo agutte. That means after the formation of zygote, it undergo mitotic divisions, not meiotic, mitotic divisions, and forms embryo. So that embryo formation stage we will call it as embryogenesis. And in the embryogenesis we are going to observe two steps. One is cell division and one is cell differentiation. Cell division and cell differentiation. Cell division means zygote cells are dividing. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. It is dividing continuously. So cell division. And after certain amount of divisions, the divided daughter cells are undergoing differentiation. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುದಂತ. ಸೊ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಟೂ ಮೇಜರ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ ನ ಮೇಜರ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಗಳಂತವು. Right? So now embryogenesis occur here. But so in case of if you want to connect with the fertilization, this embryogenesis step. In an external fertilization, embryogenesis is outside the mother body. In the internal fertilization, embryogenesis is inside the mother body. Here embryo is less safe, here embryo is more safe. Right? And regarding this embryogenesis, we are having three conditions. One is oviparous, next one is viviparous, and one more is there. Ovoviviparous. So regarding the embryogenesis, oviparous means, as already we know, ova means egg. The egg laying organisms are called as oviparous organism. They may lay fertilized or unfertilized egg. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ oviparous. ಈಗ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಕೋಳಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಳಿ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ, ಡೈಲಿ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆನೂ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅನ್ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ. ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ, ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ. ಐದರ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್. ದ ಎಗ್ ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ oviparous organism. And one major thing is that the embryo is developing inside the egg. ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು? ಆ ಎಗ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು. And the embryo is getting a food which is already present in the egg. Egg ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಫುಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So inside the egg itself, say for example if you consider the egg, right? So inside the egg the embryo is there. Let us consider. So embryo is there inside the egg, and to nourish that embryo, here already food is stored. Already food ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನರಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. So already food is stored, and that food we will call it as yolk. ನಾವು food ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Yolk. So here there is no placental connection between the mother and the embryo. There is no placental connection. Why? Because embryo covered by the egg, and that egg, if it is hatched out, so ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಾಣಿಯಿಂದ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? oviparous. And these eggs are covered by calcareous shells. So here there is a calcium protective layer. So that one we will refer it as calcareous shell made up of calcium. So such kind of organisms will refer them as oviparous. So oviparous, if we consider some of the examples, fishes, amphibians, reptiles and birds, all of these are oviparous. They are laying the eggs, right? Second thing, if you consider viviparous, in the case of viviparous, there is a special connection of placenta between mother and embryo. In between the mother and embryo, there is a biological connection. We will call it as the placenta. Through the placenta, the food material is going to the embryo, the oxygen is going to the embryo, the waste materials are coming back. So such kind of organisms are called as viviparous. ಅಂದ್ರೆ viviparous organism ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮರಿಗೆ ಜನ್ಮ ಕೊಡೋದು. Directly they are giving birth to the young ones, but these organisms are hatching the eggs. So these are viviparous. So viviparous, the best examples are mammals. Mammals, we are the mammals. ನಾವು ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡೋದಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, so viviparous. Third one, if you consider ovoviviparous, there is a mixture of two. ovo vivi, ovo vivi, ಅದು ಎರಡು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ. How is that condition? Ovoviviparous. Ovoviviparous means these organisms are producing the egg. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೊಂಡು, those are producing the egg. Inside the egg, embryo is present, and that embryo using the food of that egg itself. So ಆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಆ ಎಗ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳುತ್ತೆ. But the egg is not coming outside. The egg is inside the mother body only. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಇವು ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಹೊರಗಡೆ, ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ಆ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಬೆಳೀತಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ. That means here also there is no placental connection, but they are producing the egg, and egg is going to hatch out inside the mother body only. Finally the young one is coming outside. And the ಎರಡು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Because of that reason we will consider as ovoviviparous. And this kind of condition observed in some fishes. ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಫಿಶಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ, ovoviviparous condition, right? And in considering all these things, there is a special mention case, parthenogenesis. So one more we are having. Parthenogenesis. So already we know. So here we want to split the term. Partheno means virgin. Genesis means production. Virgin production is called as parthenogenesis. ಏನು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಮಹಾಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಕುಂತಿ ಏನು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ವರದಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಹರಳು ಹಾಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಗು ಹುಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕುಂತಿಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಬಂದಲ್ಲ, ಕುಂತಿನಿಂದ ಮಗ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಜುನ, parthenogenesis. That means the virginity condition remained as it is and producing the babies, parthenogenesis process. So in parthenogenesis process, what actually we are seeing, unfertilized eggs, those are producing young one. This is the major thing. Egg, of course, egg producing the babies. But what kind of egg? Unfertilized egg. There is no fusion of gamete to the egg. Even though there is no fusion, egg directly producing the babies, egg directly producing the embryos. That condition is parthenogenesis. And In the parthenogenesis, we are having actually two types. One is haploid parthenogenesis and another one is diploid parthenogenesis. Haploid and diploid, two kinds of parthenogenesis. Say for example, if I say egg haploid or diploid, yes, egg is haploid. Haploid egg producing one new organism means that is haploid parthenogenesis without fertilization. Diploid, how it is diploid? So for example, let us consider in case of the plants. In case of the plants, we are having embryo sac. Already got the embryo sac, female gametophyte. Embryo sac is usually haploid, but sometimes in some cases diploid embryo sac produced without meiotic divisions. Diploid embryo sac formed. From that diploid embryo sac, if the young organism, if the baby organism produced in case of the plant, then it is called as diploid parthenogenesis. Haploid and diploid, two kinds we are having. Let me consider a few of the examples for this kind of parthenogenesis. So turkey is there. Turkey, na kannadadalli kaadu koli anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, turkey. Next famous one, honeybee. And next one, ant. And next one, wasp. Right? Okay. If we consider in these cases, parthenogenesis occurs usually. Then honeybee, ant and wasp, these are considered to be the social insects. Okay, ನಾವು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಕೀಟಗಳಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕೋದಂತ. ಸೊ this kind of social insects, they are showing the parthenogenesis process without fertilization, right? And last thing, already we know, in case of the fruits, or if you consider, fruit means it is covered by a layer. The fruit layer will called as pericarp. ಆ ಪೆರಿಕಾರ್ಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ಎಕ್ಟೋಕಾರ್ಪ್, ಮೆಸೋಕಾರ್ಪ್, ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಪ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದರಿಂದ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಓವರಿ. ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಓವರಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಓವೆಲ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದೋಸ್ ಓವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ವಾಟ್? ಸೀಡ್ಸ್. ಹೌದಾ? In between the fruit and the seed inside there is gap. ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಲೋಕ್ಯೂಲ್. ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ವಿ? ಲೋಕ್ಯೂಲ್. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ಸಾರಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟೆಡ್, ಬ್ರೀಫ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಬಿನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟೆಡ್. Next, Naresh sir is going to handle sexual reproduction flowering plant chapter, right? So alternate ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾನು ಇದರ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ. ಕೀ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ಗಳ ನಾನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.